I'm Cole. This is my journey of becoming a professional soccer player, building a bootstrap business, and showing my journey to self-mastery. I make these videos to teach people how to create their ideal life. Today's video is focused on learning from different perspectives. We're going to be starting out with interacting with people from different walks of life and then getting into being afraid of being yourself, and then also kind of finishing off with beauty is all around us and sometimes you just have to open your eyes and look for it. Starting off, I hung out with my cousin today who I hadn't seen in 3 years. So a lot of time has passed. Both of us has really changed since the last time we saw each other. And I was very curious to see like how he's different, and then also kind of see how he thinks that I'm different. But we live completely different lives. I've grown up in America, went to college in America. I do go to Croatia during the summers. He's from Croatia and grew up there. So we've kind of had two very different experiences on life. So something that I've always gravitated to, either if it's in college or my friends, is that I really like interacting with people who are from kind of outside the United States. In college, my roommates were Brazilian. I had another friend group that was a bunch of people who were Muslim. And then also when I go to Croatia, I tend to hang out with the Croatians and Slovenians rather than the Americans. Talking to these people who live completely different lives for you changes your perspective on life. They have ideas and opinions that you wouldn't even think about because you can't comprehend the perspective that they have. A really good example is that I was talking to him about how he kind of views Americans, and then specifically the Americans who go to the village that we both go to. And it was very interesting to hear him talk about what he thinks about Americans in general, what people from Europe generally think about America, and then also what he thinks about the Americans in Dubai, most of them at least. You can't get that perspective from someone who's grown up in the same place as you and then kind of gone through the same or similar path that you've gone in through your life. So getting this knowledge from other people is very interesting. There's just about always something that you can learn from someone in life, especially if they have gone a different path. You're going to find something that they either implement or just a way of thinking that they have that you wouldn't have ever been exposed to, just because it's not something that's kind of regular from the place you're from. That's why if you have the ability to travel, I would definitely recommend it. Just going to different countries and talking to people to see what the culture is like, what experiences they've gone through, how they grew up, and like what kind of made them into what they are, and then how they think about the world, about certain like ideas that are really like on your mind. Something that we talked about today that I thought was really important for me was being afraid of being you. I've had this problem a lot since going into high school, and I think it's something I'm really trying to work on. And with him, I was talking about it. We were being very open about our opinions on stuff, and then kind of like how the way we act slash want to act. I was talking about how I kind of have a problem with being myself around people because I'm self-conscious about what they think. And he was saying that's a kind of a very American thing to do, but of the Americans in the village we're from, he thought that I was less so like that than a lot of the other Americans, because I'm still willing to hang out with the Croatians and Slovenians more so than the Americans. And he feels like when he interacts with the other Americans, they feel very fake to him. I'm someone who wants to portray myself as myself. I want to be able to adapt to the situation that I need to, but I don't want to change myself so much that I'm afraid of being myself. That's a problem that I think I've had. I think I've kind of toned it down of trying to adapt to this situation so much that I tone down who I want to be. And then also the very big drawback that comes with trying to adapt yourself to the situation is that you won't attract the right people anyways. Instead of finding people you really connect with, you won't feel authentic. And then also, if you do manage to connect with those people, you're not even going to like them. I have had friends in the past where I change kind of who I am and like what I want to do just because I want to hang out with people, which is like a weakness of mine. I really like hanging out with people, so then I'll hang out with someone even if I don't think it's the best thing for me. Part of the problem is that I'm not self-content in myself, that I have to just do things for me and be a little bit more selfish. And when I do find those people, then I'm able to spend the time with them because I really connect with them on a level that I can really be myself and enjoy like their presence as well as they're enjoying my presence. So you have to, one, be yourself, kind of understand like who you want to be and how you want to interact with people. Two, you have to implement it when you're actually interacting with people. You can't adapt too much to the situation and try to change who you are to fit the current needs. And then three, you kind of have to be selective about who you're hanging out with. Not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay. So trying to adapt to the situation so people like you is just a recipe for failure. You have to then select who do you think is beneficial, who do you think is going to move you forward in either your goals or the person that you want to be. Interact with those people when it's necessary, when you want to, or when it's beneficial to one or both of you. This is something that I think will really be tested this summer when I am moving in 2 days to the village. There's a lot of people there that I have been friends with, but I do kind of change myself to the situation. So if I don't like interacting with a certain group of people, I have to be content within myself to be able to spend time alone. I have stuff to do, so it's not like I'm going to be bored. I need to prioritize that more than I have been in the past, in terms of being so flexible that if someone asks me to hang out, that I'll drop everything to go do it with them. I have to set a schedule of when I'm gonna do certain things and then stick to that. If it's in a time that someone wants to hang out, I have to choose me first and do that before I'm able to hang out with them. Then the final thing that I have to talk about today is beauty is all around us, and sometimes you just have to look for it. I went with my cousin to work out. We went to go get food, and then we went back to his place to chill. I was doing a little bit of work and just kind of talking to him. He has an absolutely beautiful view over the Croatian in Dubrovnik, with the old city and then the Adriatic Sea. Absolutely beautiful. Some of the best pictures I've taken in my life. I'll put them up right now. The view was absolutely incredible. And then also on the walk back, he was smoking, so he didn't want to drive me. And I walked home, which was about an hour walk. It was so beautiful. I have been to Croatia many times before, and I've seen the beauty, and I would talk about this with him today, about how I've kind of taken it for granted and thought of it as normal, because it is something that I used to see every single summer. So I thought like this beauty wasn't something special, but it's been 3 years since I've returned, and I think I've grown as a person, and then also grown in appreciation for the beauty that is there. I've been very confined in where I have traveled in Dubrovnik summer so far. I've only taken the walking path to and from the gym, so I haven't really been able to explore the city at all. I was able to go through the old town, if you've ever been, and walk through like these nice views, not on the water but raised to where you could see the water, the boats anchored, and then different parts of the city, hotels on the water, like all lit up. It was super nice looking, and then also it was super nice to just see like this is what kind of is available in the world. You just have to go out and find it a little bit. And even though I've been here for a month, I hadn't seen those views at all. I hadn't had the appreciation for what the old city or the city kind of itself looks like. And what I'm gonna connect this to is sometimes the really nice parts in life are there, whether it is in your business, doing work, or pushing yourself physically, like going to the gym, for me, soccer, or doing like this channel. The beauty is there. Sometimes you just kind of have to look at it from a different perspective, or kind of see it as trying to get maximum enjoyment from doing the action. He talked about hedonism today, which honestly I didn't know the definition of. I don't want to be someone who's gonna say they know something when they don't, so I asked him about it, and he described it as trying to find joy from everything in life. And the way he was talking about it, I think it's a great way to try to live your life. No matter what you're trying to do, try to get the maximum joy out of it, even if it is suffering, such as like really pushing yourself in the gym, or for me, really pushing myself on my running or with soccer. Those hard moments of like, this sucks, like I don't want to do it, like trying to find the beauty of it. And you will find those times even through the suffering of doing something hard. I was able to do this, and I don't know if anyone else was able to continually like push as hard as I can and come out the other side and continue to go. You have to find that beauty. It's something not easy to do automatically. Your mind is by default going to be negative, but you have to teach yourself to look at the things around you and try to find the beauty in it. That's all I have for today. More of a philosophical talk. Thank you for watching the video, and good night.